Ctv3 News. Bakers request further increase in price of 16-ounce sliced bread. Minister of Agriculture says no way. Has the Commission of Inquiry into the sugar industry changed its course? We'll tell you. A murder is recorded in the West, and Belize joins the globe in celebration of World Ocean Day. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, June 6th, 2024.
As the BMDC, we are the marketing arm for the Ministry of Agriculture, so we have to ensure there is food security. And secondly, we have to ensure that there are markets for the local produce. So what we do in this case, with food security, whenever there is no local production, we are the importing body. When it comes now to markets for farmers, most of the time, as I mentioned, if there is not enough production in the country, we would import part of it and we would buy that from the remainder from the farmers. In that case, we assure them that there is a market for their produce.
3 years ago, BMDC was not what it is right now, believe me. You know, we have invested heavily in all branches, and especially in the Big Falls branch and the Orange Walk branch, to equip our facilities for growth and for more farmers to come into stream. The greatest impact is in the rice industry. When we started, there was a production of 300,000 pounds of rice paddy. This year, we're expecting 3.5 to 4 million pounds of rice paddy.
The other line of product that we are dealing with is the Belize Jewels fruit pulps. This is something that is new on the pipeline. We deal with the small farmers. We buy the pulps from them, we package it, and then we have it for our local market. All of this is an effort to ensure that we have a market for these fruits that would otherwise have been wasted if we weren't doing the pulping at the moment. When it comes to beekeeping, the BMDC has improved on its installations at the Orange Walk branch, where we have our buying center.
We sell to marketing board with contract. So whatever we produce, they buy from us.
The BMDC doing a very good job, yes. They buy our rice and they pay we. We don't have to wait to piece payment. They pay we 60% and at 2-3 months they give we the next rest.
We deliver our products to them and they pay us one time, and look like the rice financial is going up and look like it's helping us a lot.
We make wise decisions as a business entity to ensure that the farmers benefit, and at the same time we make an income out of it to be able to do more projects.
Fast approaching. Pro FC's back in Orange Walk Town on Saturday, June 15th, inside the Orange Walk Multi-Purpose Complex, exclusively on Channel 53 on Centaur.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to the National MSME Roadshow 2024. Join us for free workshops in marketing using AI, finance, business planning, and customer service. Connect with financial institutions for access to finance opportunities, meet with key government agencies, and showcase your business at the Roadshow Expo in an effort to get more locals to buy Belizean. We will be in Orange Walk Town, June 13th to the 15th, PG, June 27th to the 29th, Corozal, July 11th to the 13th, Benque, July 25th to the 27th, San Pedro, August 15th to the 17th, Key-Cocker, August 23rd to the 24th, Belmopan, August 29th to the 31st, Hopkins, September 13th to the 14th, San Ignacio, September 26th to the 28th, Tangriga, October 10th to the 12th, Placencia, October 18th to the 19th, and Belize City, October 24th to the 26th. Sign up today for the National MSME Roadshow. For more information, follow us on Facebook at Beltrade or call us at 880-3737. Sign up today for the National MSME Roadshow. Let's get your business on the road.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. As of Monday, the controlled price of a 16-ounce loaf of bread increased by 35 cents. Consumers across the country are now paying $2.10 for the product. As we have been reporting, this increase came following requests from bakers across the country. They contend that the price has not been adjusted since 2008, while their expenses have increased significantly since then. Now, while the recent increase was 35 cents, bakers have said that their request was for 75 cents, and they continue in negotiations for a further increase. Speaking on the matter today, Agriculture Minister Honorable Hossein Mai today confirmed that there is no intention to further raise the controlled price of 16-ounce sliced bread.
The ministry had made an announcement. I was really made to understand that it was gazetted, I think.
It was.
Right? But I believe that, yes, an announcement has said, no, the price of bread now has moved from so to so. So you are right in that. We heard in that statement. Nevertheless, Jules, that doesn't take away that the cost of bread, of everything has gone up. And we were look, that matter with the cabinet a number of times, right? And many of the ministers were worried, everybody's worried about the high cost, even me. But when the bread makers showed us their cost, man, how is that you survive at this price? Now, they wanted a 75 cents increase, right? And we said that cannot be because we were having subsidizing 25 cents. So we said, no, we are prepared to go 10 cents above that. We went to 35 cents. But they didn't implement it until a while because they were waiting for us maybe to bend and twist and say, well, yeah, we are giving 70 cents. But that could not be the agreement because Cabinet had said, listen, we are not prepared to go more than 35 cents. Now, that is where we are with that.
No, these bakers are still saying, and justifiably, you know the numbers, that they want more.
That is not something that will happen right now. Not right now, Jules. I think that, and all along, I mean, you see prices are going up, and it has to be managed somewhere. We are putting policies in place, you know, increase the basket of goods, so to speak, that they consider, and we've tried to police it. It's not an easy thing to control global inflation, especially when it's imported. And so Cabinet will not be prepared. I don't even think I want to take that to Cabinet because I'll be gone down before I get to the doors of Cabinet, because that is not going to be, that won't happen at all. It will not happen.
As you heard earlier from Minister Mai, there is intention to also increase the price of sugar. If sugar is to increase, bakers say their production costs will also go up once again. Minister Mai, however, says an increase in sugar would be done strategically to avoid this from happening.
But you know that if you increase the price of sugar, as the government is, I believe, minded to, then it also increases another input for baking.
The structure we're trying to put in place for sugar is a good one, not the one that you did in 2014, Jules. That one was designed to create these problems. I don't know who they're trying to please at that time, but we are looking at structure that will have an industrial user, a wholesaler, and a retailer, right? So the bread makers will fall into a category of industrial. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work because, like I said, BSI wants to use the basis to increase or the justification that the price of Guatemala like this and Mexico like that, and we there. No, we are using the basis to increase on the cost of production.
Cabinet Minister Andre Perez, who also happens to be part of the Bakers Association, today also spoke on the recent increase in the controlled price of 16-ounce sliced bread. This increase, according to Minister Perez, was imminent as bakers could no longer absorb the high cost of production for these products.
I think at this point in time we have to commend the bakers. I think the bakers have been very tolerant, they have been patient for quite some time now in terms of they have been pushing for the increase of the price of bread, which is pretty much justified. If you look at the figures, 35 cents is still not enough. However, they have worked, they are coming across with an agreement with government that the price control is important, that we maintain it, but at the same time we have to provide for the bakers. The bakers are not really, they are not into, they are a profit-making business. So the 35 cents is pretty much at this point in time is easily justified, but the cost is important to produce bread, and it is exorbitant high, not only with flour but other different products that they use to produce bread. Certainly, when you hear them speaking that 35 cents is still not enough, you will understand why.
Minister Perez also explained the need for bakers to also increase the price of other bread products by 10 cents, which he says is to help subsidize the high cost of raw materials.
There is only price control in one specific loaf bread, which is a 16-ounce sliced bread, as well as the whole bread, right? That is unsliced one. That's the only thing that is price control. But the increase of the other products is pretty much been coming. And also, you need to understand also that the shopkeepers have a role to play. I got a call from one of the shopkeepers who said that the increase of 35 cents, that they will be absorbing it because, in effect, the price, that this specific shopkeeper, but in effect what we're doing is that who have been feeling the pain most in terms of that price control is really the bakers. In terms of the price increase of bread, they have jumped beyond the normal standard price that is what the Bureau of Standards calls for. A lot of shopkeepers have not been selling the price that they're supposed to be fetching. So they are the ones making the bigger price difference in terms of the sales that they have, and it's not really affecting what the bakers have been holding the brunt. So that increase of 35 cents, we're expecting that maybe the shopkeepers are going to level up by competing and keeping, because they have been making their profit margin with bread. And the bread prices right now has been high because of shopkeepers putting their prices there. Now the increase of other products, the bakers, is quite justified. The products, is coming, the increase of prices on many things. And it's hard to say that as a member of government they are working, but lots of things have been going up. If should that go up, then again, that's another direct affecting the bakers, and that's what the spokesperson said yesterday. 35 cents is not enough because there are other things coming, and you're mentioning sugar, quite possibly.
For several days, we have been reporting on an incident at the northern border involving several persons who were allegedly caught transporting plantation white sugar into Mexico. The individuals allegedly told officials at the border that they were operating under an export license issued by the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, Baja. The reports even go as far as to say that the Minister of Government intercepted on behalf of the would-be exporters, allowing them to transport the sugar across the border. Earlier this week, Baja issued a press release refuting the claims being made. Minister of Agriculture Honorable Jose Mai today also commented on those reports, assuring Belizeans that he is in no way involved in any form of illegal activity.
This minister, Jose Mai, has never picked up the phone to call anybody to give them any brief to export sugar. And I can categorically say that clearly. This man has never done so and will never do so when it comes to sugar, because we have been seeing this problem for a very long time now, and I've been trying to fight and fix the problem. It is not easy. I am between a rock and a hard place because I have taken this matter to cabinet a number of times. The only way we will fix, and I'm not sure if we'll fix completely, is to make some proper adjustments to the structure, the sugar structure. And I'll explain this to you. The maximum wholesale price for sugar is 75 cents. It is sold at 67 cents. That's a 9 cents increase. For brown sugar, it is 34 cents and sold at 39 cents. 5 cents, I think. That's 5 cents difference. No. Can you imagine somebody from Toledo coming to buy 1,000 sacks of sugar? Or 500 sacks and sell it for that? Who will he sell it to? and sell it to the Chinese store, how much will he can only sell us 5 cents. So there's no profit. The only people, and I will say this, and let me be very careful, the only people that can survive selling sugar with that price control in place are those who have other wholesale, are in the wholesale business with other products. So you load your truck with all your import stuff and you put sugar in there and distribute. One subsidizes the other. But anybody, and I'm going to tell you this, it is difficult for anybody who is only in the wholesale of sugar to survive selling that sugar locally.
The illegal exportation of Belizean local sugar, according to Minister Mai, is exacerbated by the unbalanced price under which local sugar is currently regulated in Belize.
You can't survive that if you sell that sugar locally. Can you making 5 cents and 8 cents, 9 cents profit? Right? So the easiest thing for you to do is to just park a truck in your yard or an extra come, load it, and you sell that same sugar that you would have only been able to sell 75 cents for $1.50 to the Guatemalans. So the price structure, Mexicans and Guatemalans, the price structure in place that was done in 2014 created this environment for illegal things to be done.
As the ministry works to mitigate the current sugar crisis in our country, Minister Mai says Cabinet is looking at a possible increase in the price of that commodity. However, it must be done carefully and with consideration for everyone involved.
BSI has asked us, they've written to us and say, we want you to increase the price. We've met with them. And we say, okay, fine. In 2014, when you wanted a price increase, you gave us a justification. Just like the bread makers. They say, this is cost me for yeast, for flour, for this, for that shortening, and see it has increased. And we look at that price and that cost and say, well, it's unrealistic for them to survive at the price.
We'll get the bread.
Good. Well, the same thing we asked BSI in 2014. In 2014, the government then said, give me a justification. What is the cost, right? And they have said to us, the cost is irrelevant. We are worried about the cost in Mexico and Guatemala. Now, I say to them, me personally, the ministry, cannot base the increase of sugar based on what is sold in Guatemala and Mexico. We have to base the price of sugar, if the adjustment is made, on the cost of production today. Costs have gone up across the world. So they have not given us that information yet. They have not given me a justification. In 2014, you gave me this justification. It went to 75 cents. Now give me justification today. How much have your costs increased? So we can work based on that. But they're saying, no, that cost today is irrelevant. And we have it documented. They're saying the cost in Mexico is this and the cost in Guatemala is that. We need to use that as the basis for us to increase the cost of sugar.
A 19-year-old is tonight behind bars at the Belize Central Prison. His crime, having unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor. Reports confirm Gian Tech was remanded after the 14-year-old alleged victim told police they had sex on 2 different occasions in May of this year. This is what the minor told police in the presence of her mother. This fueled the arrest of Gian Tech. Yesterday, Tech appeared before a court of law to answer to the crime without the aid of legal representation. No plea was taken, as is the norm in cases of this kind, and therefore bail was not an option. Tech is to be back at court in August. Police are investigating an armed robbery that occurred around 1:30 p.m. today in the area of Belmopan. According to reports, the driver of a country meats delivery truck and his sideman arrived at a store and were about to take orders when a motorcycle with 2 men on board approached them. The 2 men were wearing face masks and one was armed with a gun. The culprits proceeded to rob both men of their wallets, cash and phone, and then demanded the money from the truck. The driver handed over a bag that had 2 checks and $4,570 in cash. The bandits then made good their escape. Investigations continue. Coming up next, Belize, the Sugarcane Farmers Association expresses concern over BSI-ASR's decision to not share proprietary and confidential information with Commission of Inquiry. Stay tuned.
The Orange Walk Clinical Lab Summer Promotion 2024 is here. Get your summer promotion on glucose, cholesterol, triglyceride and hemoglobin for only $20. Also fantastic promotions on prostate PSA for only $50. We also have other packages on promotion. We also provide DNA paternity testing. We take this opportunity to inform the general public in the Orange Walk District that we are an approved NHI lab service provider. So for all your NHI lab tests, just visit your NHI medical provider and visit us at the Orange Walk Clinical Laboratory. We take care of all your NHI lab tests. Results are provided the same day. Come visit us on number 20 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. Call for details at 322-0423 or 600-2727. Call 630-1479. Remember, don't wait for symptoms. Check your health today. The Orange Walk Clinical Laboratory.
A murder was recorded in western Belize in the wee hours of today. While police are still seeking answers to ascertain a motive, reports indicate that Sheng Wen Wu, who was locally known by residents as Alan, was shot and killed as he returned home from a night of outing. Wu had only got home and was coming out of his Toyota 4Runner pickup truck when he was shot at on the George Price Highway in Santa Elena, Cayo. As per information provided, two men arrived on a black motorcycle. At least one of them aimed at Wu and fired a number of shots at him. Apparently, the men demanded money and pulled out a 9mm pistol. Wu turned over the money and ran towards the Hawksworth Bridge while the men set chase after him. It was then that Wu was fatally wounded. Police are now investigating this latest homicide in western Belize. Agriculture Minister Honorable Hossein Mai today also responded to a recent release by BSI-ASR Mill on the upcoming Commission of Inquiry into the country's sugar industry. As we have reported previously, the Commission of Inquiry has begun its work with its inaugural meeting last week. With commissioners expected in country in the coming days, the Northern Sugar Mill has expressed their disapproval over the Commission's proposed work. The millers say the Commission has changed its purpose and is now seeking to delve into private and confidential matters of the business. In a release issued this week, the Northern Millers put their position forward, stating, and we quote, BSI has communicated to the government that it will not cooperate with a COI whose platform and focus is to use process as an avenue to negotiate a new commercial agreement, which is a private commercial matter, end quote. Responding to their concerns, Minister Mai says the terms of reference of the Commission was made clear from the very start and continue the same.
Commission of Inquiry's focus has never changed. The terms of reference from the onset was very clear. They accuse us of having not consulted with them in the early stages. We said, fine, sorry, we will consult. We went to them, we consulted, they said, you know what, I don't like this, I don't like. They offered changes or addendums to the terms of reference. So they said, oh, and by the way, they said, I want to appoint 2 people to the Commission of Inquiry. They didn't give us the names for a very long time, and we were back and forth, contacts, getting the contacts, and they didn't give us the name. We found out that these people in the past had done some kind of consultancy for them. So some were saying, well, that's conflict of interest. We said, no, if they want to appoint these people, if they have confidence in them, let us move ahead and put them on the list of commissioners. Let's get the job done. These people, I think one is an English person, one is an South African. The budget increased. then they say, well, IDB will help us with the budget. So we're still on that. But and I was concerned that the crop is coming to an end shortly, and we haven't begun the commission inquiry. So I said, let us move ahead with the commission. I was surprised to see the release that they issued last week that we have changed focus. No, sir, the focus never changed. It is a commission of inquiry. It will make recommendations, and then we did decide if we want to follow the recommendations. But it is important for the commission to inquiry to begin during the crop so that empirical measurements be taken, and then recommendations are based on that.
While the purpose of the inquiry is not to facilitate the signing of a commercial agreement between industry stakeholders in the North, Minister Mai says it can certainly help.
Is the inquiry a process to aid negotiations towards an agreement as they suggest?
In my view, after empirical measurements are taken and interviews and observations that are done, and the experts, because they're experts, come with a commission and say, listen, I believe that this is what should be done. Based on, it can be either do this, this, or this, right? It's a recommendation, and this would help in the process of understanding that a good commercial agreement. Why not? As a matter of fact, it can lay the basis for a very good, modern, updated, and a fair sugar industry act, which is 50 years old, man. All countries have moved away from that. They have graduated to new modern type arrangements. We are still living 50 years back, right? So I believe that, in my view, and from talking to many people on the same matter, that the commission inquiry is a good thing for the industry. And as I have said before, if ASR does not want to give out information, well, sometimes I say, listen, if you want information, you can get it from me. Right? I mean, I don't know how you would look. If you have participated in the terms of reference, you've contributed to it, you have suggested 2 names which we did not object to, bring the persons in. And now you would say, oh, I don't want to participate. It doesn't speak good. And it just causes more and more doubt in the minds of not only the key farmer, of the people. Because a common person will say, but what happened, man? Why didn't I give out the information? It just causes more doubt. So I don't know. If I would be I'd be worried about my credibility. Right? But is it something that they worry about? I don't know.
As to the argument that the sugar industry is a private business, Minister Mai says the sugar industry is not like other businesses, as expenses are shared with the farmers of our country.
The sugar industry is a very peculiar arrangement with farmers. It's the first it's the only one in the country that shares costs with the farmers. So it's not a private business, the ordinary private business. This is a very peculiar type that the farmers share their costs, and the farmers just listen, I want to make sure that you charge me what is right. Manufacturing allowance, you charge me 160 and 150. You charged me that years ago when you ought not to have charged me because I didn't sign to that. That's the first doubt that the farmers have in their mind. So say, let's do the commission inquiry and let the facts be clear, transparent. And this will take any government off the hook, the farmers and the miller. And if for any future industry, it will set the basis for a sound agreement, for any sound agreements. So to me, it is critical for the industry to move forward. You know, we are at 1.2 million tons in the last 15 years. We can't go 1 ton forward. We're at 60,000 acres for the last 30 years. We can't move forward because there are important things that need to be addressed. Look, we have a country right now that's in problem with energy. We want cogeneration. We want bagasse. We want to have more bagasse to produce more energy, but we can't. We are stagnant in one spot for the last 20, 30 years. These are the hard tasks that people have to do. And previously, nobody wanted to do it. Somebody said, you want to take on that task? Well, I guess you will vote for me for that.
No.
The entity that was pressuring for the formation of the Commission of Inquiry via a press release today expressed its delight to learn that the Commission of Inquiry finally commenced its work on May 29, 2024. We are talking about the BSCFA, who via a press release expressed that the investigation of the Commission is long overdue as the last such investigation held by a commission was in 1969. But while the commission will commence its work, the BSCFA says it is disappointed with the decision of the commission to not conduct its inquiry in public and urges the commission to reconsider this decision and hold its meeting in public. With the scope of the commissioners ranging from the cultivation, harvesting, and milling of sugar cane to the local handling and marketing of sugar and molasses, the BSCFA expresses concern at the fact that BSI-ASR has declared that it will challenge any request from the Commission to provide certain documents and information which it considers sensitive to its business operation. While the BSCFA confirms its unwavering collaboration with the work of the Commission and urges all stakeholders and entities to also do so in order to enable the Commission to complete its report by the end of November 2024, it also disagrees with BSI-ASR that the report should not be used to facilitate the negotiation process for a fair and just commercial agreement between both entities. The BSCFA is of the belief that the modernization of the sugar industry should also focus and include processes that would improve commercial relations of trust and equity among various stakeholders in the industry for the benefit of all. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
El siguiente es un comunicado de St. Francis Xavier Credit Union Limited. Reunión especial. Comunicado a los miembros. Estimados miembros, en conformidad con la sección 61.8 de la Ley de Uniones de Crédito, el registrador de uniones de crédito ha otorgado aprobación al administrador para que se lleve a cabo una reunión especial. Dicha reunión se llevará a cabo el domingo 16 de junio del 2024 a las 10 de la mañana en el auditorio Hugo J. González en el Centro Escolar México Junior College, aldea de San Román en el distrito de Corozal. Todos los miembros están invitados a asistir a la reunión especial, ya que el administrador proporcionará una actualización sobre los asuntos de la unión de crédito. Se requiere que los miembros presenten sus libretas y una identificación válida para registrarse. Los arreglos de transporte se anunciarán en una fecha posterior. Mensaje del administrador St. Francis Xavier Credit Union Limited.
Foreign Minister Francis Fonseca, along with Prime Minister John Bresenio, recently visited El Salvador to attend the inauguration of President Nayib Bukele, who was re-elected in that country back in February. Recently, the government of Belize congratulated several foreign allies on the results of their internal elections. Bukele's administration has come under criticism recently for the mass incarceration of El Salvador's gang members, leading some to protest his election. When asked about Belize's attendance at the inauguration ceremony, Minister Fonseca said that Belize's attendance was as a sign of respect for El Salvador's democratic integrity and demonstrate further strengthened ties with the country.
Yeah, I think, our presence there at the inauguration, the Prime Minister and I was there. We were there as fellow leaders of Central American countries. We belong to SICA. President Bukele, whatever you think of his policies, his politics, he was duly elected by the people of Salvador in an overwhelming manner. We engage with leaders from all over the world. That doesn't mean that we support their policies and their programs. But we respect the determination and decisions of their people to elect them. And we thought it was important for Belize to engage and to be present, just to participate in the inauguration ceremony, because we are also involved at the economic level in terms of specific projects that we're working on with Salvador. We are working on a sort of free trade agreement with what we call a partial scope agreement with Salvador to improve and expand trading opportunities for Belize. We're also looking at tourism. How can we expand tourism with Salvador? and again, also agriculture. So those were 3 areas, and also investment. 4 areas that we discussed with President Bukele and his team. We want to be in a position to engage more with a country like Salvador, which has 7 million people. Therein lies an opportunity for Belize to increase trade and expand trade. So we thought it was right to be present.
Minister Fonseca also extended congratulations to India on the election of its new president. Our planet Earth is a wonder that is up to this day not entirely studied. Its magnificent features and human life make it our home. And for this reason, it is a collective responsibility to protect and preserve it. In a more specific conversation, everyone can be left in awe at the greatness of the world's oceans filled with colors, marine life, and untouched depths. So the United Nations found it imperative to globally celebrate on a yearly basis World Ocean Day on June 8. This year, the global theme is Awaken New Depths. This day is significant because it becomes a venue to raise awareness about the need of protecting our oceans. Recently, the world as a whole planned to safeguard at least 30% of the world's land, waters, and oceans by 2030. In Belize, plans are gearing up as we near June 8.
World Oceans Day is big for us at Oceana, and it should be big for everyone else too, and that's why we're inviting members of the public to come and join us in activities that we have planned to celebrate our oceans this weekend. So here in Belize City on Saturday, we have a cleanup activity. We're partnering with Sea of Life, Belize Game Fish Association, and the Scout Association of Belize. And that's going to be at the Scouts headquarters on Regent Street. That starts at 7:30. Also on Saturday in San Ignacio, we have a cleanup activity. We're partnering with the Interact Club of San Ignacio and Santa Elena. We're doing a cleanup along the Macal River, and that starts at 8:30. On Sunday, we're partnering with the Corozal Town Council and House of Culture to do a sip and paint event. That's a family event. We're inviting people to come out. They're going to paint reusable tote bags. So all these activities are important. They provide a platform, a creative platform for us to have a conversation about ocean conservation. These activities are important because they provide a platform for us to spread awareness and have conversations about ocean conservation. We all have an individual responsibility to protect our oceans, and Belizeans especially, we are so connected to the ocean. We depend on it for livelihoods, for sustenance. Our economy depends on it. So it's important for us to recognize our individual responsibilities to protect and preserve our oceans.
Around the country, other entities will be engaging in other activities in recognition of World Oceans Day 2024. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, June 7th, here on Ctv3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.